Okay. It's your boy Joe Hawk. I prepared a quick little presentation slash slideshow showcasing the new MapleStory Classic World skill changes for first and second job. A couple days ago, MapleCon happened and they showed off the new MapleStory Classic World and they let people playtest it. And people gathered some information with the class skill changes and all that. I'm not going to be playing any games today. I'm just going to be reading over the skill changes and talking to you guys about the skill changes. Here's just some stuff that you might need to know before we continue on to the skills. The game is releasing sometime in 2026. We don't know what stat formulas were changed, so stuff like, you know, how much attack damage gives you, how much magic attack gives you, how much magic attack int gives you, you know, the EXP required to level up. I believe every class has crit at a minimum of 5%. There's no jump teleporting. You cannot cast teleport in the air, which if that existed, that'd be fucking broken. However, skills are castable in the air. The mage skills are castable in the air. Some of the Bowman skills are castable in the air. There's no HP washing, and we only know up to second job. We don't know what third job consists of, but people must remember that even third jobs will have like changes. Even though we do know what first and second jobs are, I would be a bit hesitant before we say, oh no, this class is finished. This class is now useless in Maple Classic, because maybe in third job they add something new for them. And of course, finally, there is no pirates. I believe there will be no pirates upon release. It'll just be the first 4 main classes. And here at the bottom, I wrote green equals buff, red equals nerf, blue equals change. In the skill changes, you'll see that some of the skills are color-coded. Green means that the skill got better, in my opinion. Red means that it got worse. And blue means there's just been an overall change with the skill. So I guess we'll get into it. You guys feel free to voice your own opinions as we go through this. So let's start. Warrior first job skills. Improve HP recovery. Before it just gave you HP, now it also gives HP recovery bonus by 20%. So for example, a white potion will give you 60 bonus HP. I guess this is like a mini buff, but it's not too big of a buff. Max HP increase, however, is changed. The formula's changed before. If you remember, this skill was very important to max first back then because it kind of followed the HP washing guidelines. If you added AP or if you leveled up, it would give you bonus HP per level up. Now it's very simple. It just gives you a bonus 20% max HP. Okay, now this is a new skill. It's called Precise Strikes, okay, and it replaces the Endure skill. This skill at max level gives 50 accuracy and 5% crit. 50 accuracy is no joke. That'll be a lot. Feel like this will be one of the new skills to be maxing after, you know, maybe something like Power Strike or Slash Blast. Next up, we have Iron Body. Iron Body, the only way this changed is the cast time or the buff itself was doubled in time, and instead of giving you a flat rate of weapon defense, it gives you a percentage of weapon defense. Power Strike seems to have gotten a 40% buff. Besides that, it seems about the same. And of course, Slash Blast also got a damage buff, granting 20% bonus damage from before. Moving on. Next, we have the Magician first job skills. This is very similar to the Warrior changes in terms of the HP stuff, but this time we're looking at the MP. Recovery from items and skills increased by 20% for the mana, and instead of doing the MP washing stats, it just gives you a flat 20% max MP bonus. Magic Guard is now a toggle, so you just turn it on and off rather than having a buff. Magic Armor also changes similar to how Iron Body changes. It gives you percent weapon and magic defense for 600 seconds. Holy. Energy Bolt and Magic Claw are the same though, however. There's no multi-target hits. First job Magician will still be pretty slow in terms of leveling, so that's that. The flat to percentage changes are nice. It gets better as you level up. I would definitely max probably Magic Claw in terms of everything we see here. Definitely think that Magicians will become very strong once they hit level 30. Next up, we have the Bowman, my favorite class. There's a couple changes with the Bowman. Critical Shot used to be a 40% crit rate with 200% crit damage, but now the new skill gives 15% bonus crit rate and 15% crit damage. But as the note says here, it's likely a format change, as in the way that crit works differs from the way that it used to work back then. So we don't know if it's a nerf or not yet. And again, I'd like to reiterate that third job and fourth job could give more crit chance, more crit damage. We don't know that yet. So at this point in time, from what it was from back then, it is a nerf. So Bowman will be weaker than what we would have expected, at least in the first job. Next skill, it's called Amazon's Judgment, okay? It replaces Blessing of the Amazon, if you remember that skill. It says critical hits have a 100% chance of reducing enemy speed for 35 for 3 seconds. Honestly, this sounds useless, if you're asking me. So max this last. Next up, I have the Amazon. So it used to give 120 bonus range, but now it gives 30 bonus at a 150 rate. So this is a little bit of a mini buff for the archers. You get some more range. Focus. Focus is also pretty similar. The only difference is it gives 5 bonus accuracy and 5 bonus avoidability. Arrow Blow. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I had never maxed Arrow Blow, but there is a 50% damage bonus to Arrow Blow. It is still single target, and I believe both Arrow Blow and Double Shot are jump castable, which is pretty huge. And of course, Double Shot gets a 25% damage bonus. Okay, so overall, some buffs, but the crit got nerfed first job. Next, we have the first job Thief. This might be a bit controversial, but we'll see. Nimble Body is the same. Keen Eyes got nerfed a little bit. The range got nerfed by 50, so that means assassins and just people who use shurikens will have a little less of a range on their attacks, which is a bit of a nerf. Disorder, I don't know who uses Disorder, let's be honest. Nobody uses Disorder, and I'm pretty sure it'll be the same. Disorder will not be used, even though it did get a bit of a change, maybe a sort of a buff. I'm not too sure. Don't be maxing Disorder, don't be dumb. Dark Sight, it's about the same. It is now a toggle though, which is interesting, but it's like, you know, Dark Sight doesn't even need that much MP in the first place to use. Double Stab gets a 45% damage buff. It's still single target though. Now Lucky 7 gets a 20% nerf. Some people might not be so happy about that. I still believe that even with the 20% damage nerf, if the luck formula is the same, Lucky 7 will still do lots of damage. But there we go. We have the first job Thief skills right here. Now, let's move on to the second job skills, starting off with the Fighter. Sword Mastery is around the same. It just gives 5 more accuracy than before. Now we have Axe Mastery. Axe Mastery is very interesting. This is maybe one of my, I don't know if I would consider it my favorite, but it is a sweet change. I have Darius over here. If you play League of Legends, Darius has a passive where he bleeds fools with his passive, and I believe if you max Axe Mastery, 25% chance to inflict bleed, causing 30% total damage over 3 seconds. So it's basically like a poison, you know what I mean? It's a damage over time applied to enemies. I feel like maybe axes could be better for heroes. Final Attack. Final Attack is very interesting. If you see right here, how it works is there is a 25% chance when you hit enemies to have a Final Attack charge at the ready. And you have to use it pretty fast, otherwise it just goes away. Instead of being automatic, it's an active skill that you click to apply the Final Attack, basically. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's like a combo attack, I guess, where you have to like get your charges and then release them. It also kind of, you know, opens up warriors. You know, people say warriors, you use Slash Blast to level 120, but now you'll be using Final Attack till level 120, so that's nice. Sword and Axe Booster, they're the same. Spoiler alert, all of the booster skills will be the same. Now Rage is huge. Rage made people think like maybe the stats were, you know, tweaked with, because instead of giving you 12 attack, it gives 35 attack for 300 seconds. This is a huge buff if all the formulas for damage calculations are the same. 35 weapon attack is a huge buff, but again, we don't know that until we see what AD does, see what the scrolls give and stuff, so we'll have to wait until there's more information on that before we make a conclusion. And lastly, Power Guard. I believe Power Guard is still the same. I heard from somebody that if you have a shield on with Power Guard, it like returns 100% of the damage instead, which sounds pretty goated. Probably go for maxing the Mastery first, and then maybe Final Attack, put 6 on like Booster, and then Rage. Maybe Rage and Final Attack, it's like you choose which one you want to go first, depending on, you know, your playstyle. We got the Page, all right, very popular class. Sword Mastery is the same. Blunt Weapon Mastery. Now, Blunt Weapon Mastery, what it does is there's a 25% chance to stun for 3 seconds. Instead of the bleed that the axe gets, you stun instead. Final Attack, we know what Final Attack does. Weapon Booster is the same. Now, Threaten now reduces, instead of reducing just the attack and defense and accuracy, it reduces the speed, so it slows your enemies down. It seems to be the same. It has a longer short debuff time. It is definitely better than before. Rage is still indefinitely just better than Threaten. Power Guard, of course, Power Guard is the same. Nothing new there. These two warrior classes are pretty much the same besides just the weapon that you decide to use. We have the Spearman, okay? The Spearman uses the spear and polearm mastery, and I want to touch up on this subject for a second, but like, will Nexon keep the fact that spear poking will do more damage while the swinging on the polearm does more damage? Is that still going to exist for spear, polearms, axes, and blunt weapons? None of that has really been confirmed at all, but I do hope that it stays that way. Final attack is the same as the other two warrior classes, booster as well. Iron Will gives you a 35% stance chance. Basically means you have a 35% chance that you won't get knocked back when you get hit. We don't know if this passes on to other players. We don't even know if Iron Will is a buff that does pass on to other players. It could just be a buff for the Spearman itself, for the character itself. It's no longer like Hyper Body where it gives the buff to your players or not, to your party members. Now, Hyper Body did get nerfed. It used to grant 60% max HP and 60% max MP before, but now it only grants a 30% max HP. I mean, Hyper Body was pretty broken, I won't lie. It really identified the Spearman. Okay, continue on. Now with the mages, MP Eater. Now MP Eater I honestly think got nerfed. Even though the success rate for stealing MP is increased, along with the 50% of enemies max MP taken, it only triggers once every 5 seconds. It used to have no cooldown at all. I honestly think that's a nerf. I wouldn't prioritize it as hard as I did in the Bishop video after seeing these changes. Next up, we got Meditation. Meditation is just a 5 bonus magic attack buff, and it also lasts longer. The buff lasts longer. Teleport, there's been no change with Teleport, including the fact that you can't jump teleport. That would be way too broken in my opinion. Teleport remains the same, it's still good. Slow kinda got nerfed or buffed, I don't know. Nobody's maxing slow. If you're maxing slow, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Go back to playing like Happy Pets on Facebook, you know? Don't max slow. Cold Beam got buffed, 25 bonus basic attack, and it freezes the mob for 1 more second, but it's the same in terms of it's only single target skill. Next, we got Thunderbolt. The damage got nerfed a little bit. However, there is a 20% chance for the mob to be electrocuted. I believe being electrocuted just means stunned, as in they can't move. It still probably targets 6 mobs as usual. Ice Lightning will still be pretty good. It doesn't seem to have changed as much, which I am worried for considering what you're about to see next. So here we go. This is the Fire Poison Mage. I believe this is one of the classes that got changed for the better the most. I have a picture of Devil Teemo right here because Fire Poison is now basically like a DOT class. Alright, MP Eater is the same. Meditation is the same. Teleport is the same. Don't even talk to me about slow, but Fire Arrow. Now let's talk about Fire Arrow. If you see in this GIF right here, it can target up to 3 mobs and it also hits 3 times. But let me make this clear. You need to have damage if you want to target multiple mobs, if that makes sense. If the first line of Fire Arrow kills the mob in front of you, then it'll pass on to the next mob. But if your Fire Arrow does not one-shot with the 3 hits that it's given, then it'll only still hit 1 target, if that makes sense. The basic damage of Fire Arrow got nerfed, but it now hits 3 enemies and has 3 lines, and it also does burn damage. Kind of like how the Axe hero will do bleed. The fire burns, so it does damage over time, just like Poison. Poison Breath back then, it was a single target skill that would poison your enemy. Poison is pretty fun, and it's pretty useful in terms of trying to kill mobs that are way higher level than you are. But now, it kind of like splashes, so it'll hit 1 mob, it'll spread, like the animation spreads to everyone. So everyone caught in that spread, it says explosion hits up to 4 nearby enemies, so it can hit up to 4 other mobs around you. And the best part is, it won't leave the mob at 1 HP, it'll actually kill the mob, so the poison will finish off the mob this time around. Is a big change and a big buff to Fire Poison. I can see Fire Poison being contender for a really strong mage, maybe even stronger than the Ice Lightning, but I don't want to go there yet. But that's what we know about the Fire Poison second job class. We got the Cleric. This is my favorite mage class, if you don't already know. MP Eater, as we said before, is the same. Teleport is the same. Heal. Heal got nerfed by 2/3. It used to be 300% recovery rate, but now it is a 100% recovery rate at level 30, maxed out. If you want to know how big of a difference that is, level 1 heal was 100%. This is a big nerf to heal and to clerics in the second job because, as you can see, look at how much damage the holy arrow does compared to the heal. Not that good damage with the heal these days. So I'm not sure how viable heal will be to destroy, to kill mobs and to level with heal. Invincible is now very interesting. It still has the physical damage reduction 30%, but it also acts like a power guard, but for mages, if that makes sense. When you get hit by an attack, it'll reflect the damage back to the enemy. Next up, we have Bless. Bless has not really changed at all, except it did get a bonus 10% with the HP recovery. Modern Classic Maple seems to love giving you guys bonus recovery through like skills and stuff. Now, Holy Arrow works exactly how Fire Arrow works, this guy's skill. It's very similar to this, but it doesn't burn, and instead it does holy damage, which means undead mobs and, devil mobs will be weak to Holy Arrow. There might be a case if you are solo maining like a cleric, you might want to max out Holy Arrow a lot faster than back then. Next, we have the Bowman Hunter, second job. Bow Mastery. Now this is huge, so listen carefully. Instead of giving accuracy, it'll now give avoidability to the Hunter. I believe it's different for the Crossbowman, so this is unique to the Hunter. It also gives a 100% chance to use skills or ranged attack on nearby enemies. AKA, once you max out Bow Mastery, you don't do the bow smacking skill. Now I want to make this clear, this is only for the archer. On the thief, you still punch on the thief, but with the archer, as long as you max out Bow Mastery, you will no longer whack mobs with your bow, unless you're using power knockback or something. Final attack, it works the exact same as the warriors. It's an active skill. If you watch this gif right here, she uses final attack right here, watch. That's final attack, okay? So you can kind of assume how much damage a final attack will do. Power knockback got buffed, I believe. There's a 100% chance of knockback, but it did get nerfed in how many mobs can get knocked back. And also, it always crits. Soul Arrow is the same, okay? You don't use arrows once you activate this buff. And finally, we got Arrow Bomb. Arrow Bomb did get nerfed. The damage is the same, the stun is the same, but instead of hitting 6 enemies, it now only hits 4. So there we go. That's the Hunter's changes. Now we move on to the Crossbowman. Crossbowman Mastery is changed. Instead of giving you the 50 avoidability that the Hunter gets, it now has a 20% chance of ignoring enemy weapon defense by, I believe that just means it ignores all of the mob's enemies' weapons defense. I would see Crossbowmen farming at like stone golems or something once they max out Crossbow Mastery. Final attack, just like this one, it's the same. Crossbow booster is the same, power knockback is the same, soul arrow crossbow is the same, and iron arrow is the same. So Crossbowman, nothing really changed besides the fact that you can hit with your arrows melee range. Next up, we have the thieves. I believe this is the final class to go through, guys. Let's see the bandit. The bandit got a lot of changes. Dagger Mastery now grants crit chance, 20% critical rate when you max out Dagger Mastery. This is a very big buff. Bandits just didn't get any crit back then, so this is huge. Now this is a new skill called Nimble Recovery, and it replaces Endure. They just got rid of Endure. Whenever you dodge or evade a skill, it recovers 10% HP and 10% MP, okay? And it activates every 30 seconds. This is pretty lackluster in my opinion. Next up, we have Dagger Booster. Dagger Booster is the same. Haste is interesting because it did get nerfed. It used to be 40 speed and 20 jump, and now it's 30 speed and 10 jump. But as this note says, there's a lot of evidence pointing towards a base speed / jump increase. This may not be a nerf. Basically meaning that the average movement speed of a default character got increased. This is a quality of life for every class available, and to counteract that, they reduced the speed and jump on haste, because if it was at 40 and 20, I believe these would be giga fast. In terms of like the speed itself, it should be similar to what you're used to. It's just that everyone else just got slightly faster. Steal is another big buff for the bandit. Back then, it was just a 40% chance of stealing a random item from from the mob, but now there's a 90% chance to steal, 200% double the damage, and on success grants 35 weapon attack for 30 seconds. It also stuns the enemy for 1.5 seconds. It's still a single target hit, but I can definitely see the bandits maxing this sort of quickly, along with Savage Blow. Savage Blow gives a 20% bonus damage compared to back then, rounding up to 100% damage per strike. Bandit's got a big buff second job. I'm excited for the bandit mains out there. And finally, we have the assassin. The assassin might be the most controversial change out of all the classes. That's why I left it here for last. Claw Mastery. Instead of giving you bonus throwing stars, now it doesn't do that apparently, and instead there's a 25% chance to retrieve used throwing stars, aka there's a chance that you don't spend your throwing stars. It's a nice little change, but at the same time, I don't know if it trumps the bonus stars, because the more stars you own, the better this buff is. So I don't know. Now, crit throw. Critical throw got nerfed just like how critical throw got nerfed in the first job for Bowman. Okay, it's very similar to this. Instead of 50% chance crit and 200 crit damage, it is 15% bonus, so it's at 135% crit damage instead of 200, so that is a 65% crit damage nerf. But this note says that earrings have crit damage, gloves have crit rate. For the time being, if we're only considering second job, this is definitely a nerf to the assassin. I would still probably max this pretty quickly. Next up, we have agile recovery. This is very similar to the nimble recovery for the bandit. Whenever you jump, you recover 10% HP and MP, and this activates every 60 seconds. With the bandit skill, it activates every 30 seconds. With this, it activates every 60 seconds. Is this worth it? No, don't get fooled. Don't max this. Claw booster is the same as every other booster skill, and haste we've already went over. Drain appears to do more damage than before, and it says here that the max absorb is 25% of the character's HP, which means you can only gain up to 25% of your HP with this skill. Now, would I rather max agile recovery or drain? Because you probably won't be able to max everything. I don't know, unless I'm wrong. But in my opinion, I'd probably max drain over agile recovery. But besides that, this is all the same. Or it got slightly nerfed. So assassins definitely did get nerfed. And I also want to point out that in some of the playtest videos, apparently assassin's throw rate was also very clunky, if that makes sense. It's not as smooth as before. Okay, I don't know if it's maybe because they were using bad claws or something, but that could definitely create an impact on the popularity of the thief if it doesn't feel as smooth as it did before. I do hope that they keep that smoothness of the assassin, because that's one of the only reasons why you play this class, is for how fun it is, and if it's gonna be clunky like that, it won't be fun. Alright, so we've reached the end. I'm just here to share my final thoughts. If you're asking me, I think we have to wait until the third job skills are released before we can make any final conclusions. There are definitely some exciting changes, such as the fire, poison, and the bandit. I'm looking forward to seeing how they do once the game releases. Kind of bummed out about the heal nerf, but I guess I saw that coming. I'm curious to see if they'll nerf more of priest and more of the hermit once it comes out, but I'm hopeful that as we see the new things will either get better or maybe they'll get worse. I don't know. If you're asking me, I still think that Assassin will be the #1 class, as in it'll be the most played class alongside Clerics and Spearmen. What class do you plan on making upon release? You should watch my latest video for that answer. Glad they changed a couple things. First job skills besides the warriors seem a bit lackluster. The crit changes are also I'm curious about. Mages are still broken. In fact, mages are better than before. Ice Lightning kinda seems nerfed because of the fact that Fire Poison got hella buffed, but we'll see. Reducing the range on the throwing star seems like a bit of a f you to the sins, not gonna lie. The gears also got changed, aka the amount of dex required to equip some of the items got changed for the thief. Looking forward to that, because thief had you needed the most secondary stats out of all the classes available. I do wonder how they'll tackle like being dexless or being luckless and stuff like that. I hope that there is an option to go luckless. I don't want that to disappear by any chance. I feel like third job will really solidify the tier list of every class. And once the third job skills come out, I'll definitely make a tier list on that with your boy Cuisine, aka Red Snowshoes. Let me know in the comments what you guys are gonna play, what you guys think about the changes. Let me know if I missed anything through the skill change overview. But besides that, I think that's it for me. Thank you very much for watching. So yeah, peace out, guys.